Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Come on in. Doc.
Hey, I am in the building, KSolo. Welcome, everybody. Hey.
Welcome to tonight's show, everybody. We have a good one lined up for you tonight, Doc, and I'm not even going to beat my gums talking this one up, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you, how you doing up there? I know you guys had a really bad ice storm up there.
Yeah. We good now. I mean, it's going up and down. The ice has melted down, you know.
Okay.
It's chilly right now, but we good.
Good, man. I know that weather's been real crazy lately. Good evening, my guy, Bolo. Good evening. Welcome. We got Baldhead Nasty with us. You want to read that? Because you know Baldhead Nasty love it when you read this.
Hey, Baldhead Nasty. Good evening, wonderful friends and family. Get you a stick and a drink. Time to lock in. Hey, Bo. I like that.
I know, man. Time to lock in. I appreciate that, my brother. Hey, man, we got one right down your line, man. He's tech. He's an innovator. You know, he first African American to go 200 on a drag bike, man. I'm telling you, a true icon, a true legend indeed. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started without further ado. So let me go ahead and get ready to introduce him, bring him in. All right, folks, this is how we're gonna start it tonight. Rev your engine because we're taking it back to the raw, unfiltered streets of LA, California, where a young kid with something to prove would grow up into the name that still echoes through motorcycle culture. He wasn't just any rider. He was the youngest member of the legendary LA Deuces Motorcycle Club, earning respect in a world where age didn't matter. Heart, horsepower, and how you handle yourself when that throttle twisted wide open. Listen, folks, they call him Ice Cream Boy, and we're going to find out how too. But don't let the nickname fool you, because he is the real deal. By the time most kids was riding bicycles, he was lining up against grown men, racing hard between 1975 and 1979 in spots in San Bernardino, tearing down the streets of Central and Wortman, where reputations were built or broken in seconds. He learned the craft from masters like legendary bike builder Sugar Bear, sharpening his skills in garages long before social media made custom culture trendy. And when Hollywood came calling, he was there to answer the call. His expertise in tech was well represented. This is more than a biker story. This is about legacy, brotherhood, survival, and speed. This is about a kid who raced grown men and never backed down. That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to some and present to others. Strap in, twist the throttle, and help me welcome the legendary Tommy Bolton, a.k.a. Tombo. Welcome to the show, Tombo.
Welcome.
Man, that took me forever to get that right, Tombo.
Okay, that's cool.
But we got to give you that applause, man. Come on in, folks. Come on in. I know it's a little late there, but we're going to get it right. Producers up there in the booth, man, trying to get it right. So how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing fine. Just a little cold, but it is what it is.
Right, right, right. I know, man, out there in Oklahoma, it is rough. It is rough out there.
It's
Uh,
a little cool right now, but it is what it is.
right. The high winds, man. I tell everybody, if you take the 40 and you coming across, you better be prepared for I-40, man. Them winds ain't no joke out there. People think
Correct.
the 10 is rough, but 40 is no joke. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Big Sarge, welcome. Great show last night, Sarge. I appreciate you giving me that shout out, man. I know I got on late, but I had to do a little pre-production. But once again, shout out to you. Jay, can you see people coming in, Doc?
I see him coming in. Welcome.
Nice, nice, nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
MacGyver.
MacGyver's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on in, folks. Well, look, we're going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself. Tombo. We're going to call him Tombo, folks. I know he got his name in there, Tommy, but everybody know him as Tombo.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Long as I'm in that mind, I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool.
Good deal. Introduce yourself to the folks, sir. Let them know who the legendary Tombo is.
Tommy Bolton, Los Angeles, California, from South Central, as we already knew, growing up in the streets of LA. So just another kid in LA, wondering, trying to find his way. And one of the things that kept me occupied back then was motorcycles. And growing up in Los Angeles, across the street from the LA Deuces, from 74, and then all the motorcycle shops down on the real south side of LA kept me grounded where I wanted to do this stuff, so
okay.
This is where I'm at now.
Right. And you grew up there, born and raised there. You was young, you were already around the culture. Was it family, or were you the first generation to just get involved with motorcycles?
I was born in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, and my dad and mom moved to Los Angeles shortly after I was born in 1959.
Okay.
So, and then my mother came back to LA, and I think it was 1960. Came back in 61, and then she said she was going to the store. And I never seen her again until I was 7.
Wow, man.
and so growing up at my grandmother's house in Jackson, Mississippi, I was there, and the streets was dirt. There was dirt road, and then I watched them pave the street, and then I started seeing. And then I got turned on because I was seeing the street dirt and the guys riding down the street with the motorcycles and all of that other stuff. And then I used to talk to my mom and dad, and my mom and dad was in the motorcycle club, and so I was like, oh, cool. All I could get was pictures and stuff. And then so, unfortunately, in good, but one of my cousins died when I was 7 years old. So my dad came back to Mississippi and took me and my sister back to Los Angeles. And then so when I got back there, and I'm seeing all these pictures. With my mom and dad. They all in the motorcycle club back then. The name of the club will come to me in a second, but I'm looking at my dad, and by the time I'm 8, I'm like, Dad, you only had a 185 Dream. How could you ride my mom on this little bitty motorcycle? So he was like, so it was on after then, so because it was Los Angeles was where the motorcycles were and everything. So it was just crazy. It was just crazy. And then Uncle Joe's, we stayed in the triplex, and it was all family. My uncle Joe stayed in the second house, and then my Aunt Eloise stayed in the third house, and then he had a old Harley sitting out in front of his house, in front of his door, that hadn't ran in years. And then I took a extension cord and plugged it up to it because I didn't know nothing about a battery charge, and shorted out the whole little triplex we had.
Oh, so you was out there being mischief with it, man, trying to get it in.
Man, I got everybody that's like, what happened? So, as you say, it was in my blood right then.
Right then.
You know?
Man. I know the LA set was rich with bikes out there. I know they really wasn't into Harleys around about that time. Some people had Harleys, but it was just the fact that a lot of people was riding Hondas back then. That was the bike. That was the go-to bike. And we want to send a shout out to Ivory J. This is out of his archives. He was off of the LA set as well with the DOs, Defiant Ones out there. So I want to just give a shout out to Ivory J for this historic data right here as my reference for tonight. I always got to give a reference to my sources, man. Indeed.
Okay.
Hey, it's my turn. Let me start. You know, we always say the word legend. I hear it all the time, and some people will get upset if you say I'm a legend on the set, you know, or I'm a legend out here on in the motorcycle culture, or, you know, I'm a ground pounder. And so my first question right out the gate to you is, when people call you a legend, how do you define that word?
I defined it because I've done a lot for being where I came from, for the drag racing culture. I've done a lot, and I was on the motorcycle set as a kid, not knowing exactly which way to go here and there. And so I look for the motorcycle set to go to, like our San Bernardino street races or Salton Sea, where we all had a ball back there. Man, I loved it back then. It was fun. It was crazy back then. You know, it was just, I can't even describe it. I think some of the people missing some of the fun that we had, because it wasn't none of the, it wasn't, you know, you could go up there and it wasn't none of that, it wasn't no bull. It was just fun all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to dance, so I had fun.
And you was out there as a youngster too, man.
Oh man, it was crazy being a youngster up there. You know, so it was like I did it all back then. I tried to play the DJ. I tried to do it all back then. And you know, the Deuces had their club, and I tried to be the DJ, and the building was wet and rainy, and damn, it shocked everybody in the club.
Oh man, indeed, yes sir, indeed. I know we had spoke earlier. Some of the people that, you know, kind of like influenced you and that you had met. Shout out to Hero Benson, man. I really have to give a shout out to him, because Hero hit me up and said, "Hey, Solo, you might want to think about bringing Tombo on." I said, "Man, shit, would he come on my show?" He was like, "Yeah, Solo." And I said, "Hey, man, it would be an honor to have him on." But shout out to Hero Benson. He may be tuning in tonight. But he said he met you when you was around about what, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around about that time frame?
Yeah, Hero used to be up at this Hero seen everything, and Hero was like, he had a brother named Nubby Jack at the time, and they both had choppers. They had choppers at the time, and Hero had a chopper. It was called a bop gun, and he used to ride around with it on the back of his El Camino back then. And every now and then he would bring it by, and I started helping him work on it. And I remember one day we was at this guy's shop in the neighborhood, which was called the Honda Man. And he seen me ride a bike up and down the street, and he said, "Man," he's like, "Hey, young Tom, you really know how to shift those gears?" You know, there was another older gentleman there, and he was like, "You know, could you ride my bike for me real quick? I just want to make sure that everything was working right." And then Hero noticed how smooth I shift and everything. So that was the first one of the first guys that really paid attention to that I could ride a motorcycle back then.
Okay.
Was Hero.
And it was Hero. Yeah. So man, I definitely want to give that shout out to Hero Benson, man. Some people sit there and say, man, Hero won't there. Hero don't remember it. Hero is probably one of them, is definitely one of our living encyclopedias as far as the motorcycle culture going on now and moving forward. He has a lot of knowledge. He's met a lot of people, and he's humble with it. He'll always say, I was just there with him, Solo. I was just saying, no, Hero, you were there for a reason, to bring it on with us, to share it with us, because a lot of people are starting to transition. So it's always good to be able to hear that straight from someone like Hero Benson, someone like yourself, because a lot of people, especially on the East Coast, don't know how it was on the West Coast. Now, when you were a youngster, you say you started working on bikes, tinkering on bikes. What kind of like got you into the motorcycle culture?
What got me into it was first I got into mini bikes, and I learned that. I learned the mini bikes, and and that's where everything started at. Learning the mini bikes, and then the kids in the neighborhood start seeing me work on stuff, and one thing left to another. Before you knew it, I was working on everybody's mini bikes and little motorcycles in the neighborhood then. And I always blame it on my mom, because I was in the sixth grade and I was in Mr. Hart's homeroom class, and he had a Mr. Hart's band, so my mom, all she had to do is buy me a guitar, and I would have been cool, and it would have been no motorcycles, but she didn't. We went down to the pawn shop. She put a guitar in the pawn shop for $10, and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna be in Mr. Hart's band. I need the guitar. Instead, it wasn't no guitar. So Mr. Hart told me I couldn't stay in the class. So I went across the street to a guy named Seti Black and Kevin Black, and they had an old mini bike sitting in their backyard, and that was it. In 3 weeks, I had that mini bike running up and down the playground. Now I got Mr. Hart saying, hey, y'all need to quit with all that noise. And that's where it all started at, right there.
That's where it all started, man. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a start. That's pretty awesome. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Doc, I'm gonna stop calling Doc. You just gonna see your face punch in, man. You know the deal. We ain't rookies to this, man.
I know. Being one of the first African American men, I know you said there was 4 men who have reached the 200 mile per hour in a sanctioned race on the track, right? And so, but you are the first African American. And so my question to you is, what obstacles did you face as an African American that others didn't have to think about?
Well, back then, you got to think this was April of 1990, and we had to build. We had to build our bikes. We had to do everything. And now, any kid with money, they can order a 200 mile an hour motor. They can have somebody come in and tune it with a computer. All of these things. You had to do it. You got to have you got to have a crew. You got to have all the correct components. Now to build a 200 mile an hour bike, you're gonna have to spend anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. We didn't have that back then. All we had was these. And I came to the track, and I just had a few guys that was helping me do this stuff. So we came and we turned it out. We knew that I had the good machines, and I had a lot of good people behind me. So we was able to do it. And that's the bike right there.
That's the bike right there, man. Yeah. That's the bike right there.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't understand is, man, is like you say, all the new electronic techniques, the timing, and all the other stuff that they was using. You guys was kind of like just working it out in your brains, trial and error, making your own parts. you know, the air mixture, the fuel mixture, all of that. Now, you were lucky and fortunate enough as a kid, you worked at a Honda dealership. Is that correct?
I worked at the Honda dealership from 17 to 20.
From 17
From
to 20.
17.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
unique story about that you were telling me. You mind sharing that with the folks?
Well, you know, I went to work at a Honda dealer. It was called California Honda. And it was really weird because California Honda was next door to this place called Sonny's Flowers, where Sonny's Flowers was gateway to the stars. That's where everybody, you know, it was on Pico and Beverly Glen. And so that's where all the celebrities came to get their flowers. And so it was a nothing every day that you'll see some celebrity next door, and then they'll walk over to the Honda dealer. And man, it was crazy back then. Crazy. You know, and I was smart enough and dumb enough to be working at the Honda dealer, and the guy that owned the Honda dealer name was Fred. And Fred was a real smart white guy, real smart. And he told me one day, he says, Tom, and summer was over, and Fred came and told me, said, hey, Tom, I just found out that you're not 18 years old. I said, what's the problem? He says, I can't let you work here knowing that you done dropped out of school. I said, you know, so I was like, don't worry about it. I'll be okay. He said, no. He said, bad as I hate to do it because you're one of the best mechanics around here, but I'm going to have to let you go. So I was like, oh, so I was like, damn. So I went back, went home, and my dad was looking at me and my mom was looking at me, and they said, what's wrong? I told them I couldn't work anymore because he wanted me to finish school. So I went and enrolled myself back in the school, and at that particular time, they had just started a program called, you know, where you could go and you can go to trade tech, and I went to regular school in the morning, and then the bus would come pick you up around 9:30 or 10 o'clock and take you down into LA Trade Tech, where I took up, of course, you know what I took up, motorcycle repair, and was one of the tops in the class. And then shortly after I did that, they started another program where they kept you in the trade, you know, instead of going to the school in the morning, you got picked up in front of the school and you go straight to trade tech. So I was going there from 7 to 12 o'clock every day. And then shortly after I did that, then Fred let me come back to work at the Honda dealer. And it was a wrap from that point on. So that turned me on to going to all the trade schools and going to motorcycle tech, everything. So I got to go because it was a Honda dealer, I got to go to the Honda school, and I got to go to the motorcycle school also. So it was fun.
Okay.
It was crazy.
And I know Irie J had he did a post, man. He said back then, back in the 70s, 80s, the 750 Honda was a great and affordable bike to have. I guess did you run into issues trying to get Harleys or anything like that? Did they not want to sell to you? Do you remember any of that?
I have no problem with nothing, you know, because I knew everybody. You know, right. I went to motorcycle trade school, and if you ever heard of Bartell's Harley, then Bartell's, I went to school with Ron Bartell, you know, which was Bill Bartell's son. And so I knew them as a kid. So they tried to get me to work on the Harleys way back then. And that's the only thing I kind of slapped myself a little bit now because I grew up around them. And when they kept trying to get me to come to work, I liked the sport bikes. I wanted the fast bikes. I wanted the speed. I wanted all of that. I didn't want to work on all of that stuff. I wanted that cool stuff, as they said it back then. But not knowing the Harleys was the cool bikes.
Yeah. Indeed.
Hey, riding over 30 years takes discipline. A lot of discipline. What routines and principles can you tell us that kept you consistent?
I like to ride. I like to ride for the people. I'm looking out everywhere that I go. I'm not just riding. I'm just not riding for myself. I'm riding looking all the time. You got to have that awareness around you, or you'll crash. I had too many accidents and watched too many people go down because they didn't pay attention. So that's some of the stuff that I learned as a kid, to pay attention. As a kid riding in the deuces and waiting on somebody to goof up or can't ride, riding their bikes, and it was kind of crazy. So I learned then I had to have discipline all the time. And some of the stuff I did was kind of wild because I'm a go faster. So I like to go fast, like to race. I like to do all that stuff. But I learned quickly you can get hurt just as quick, So that was some of the stuff that I had to learn. Ride for everybody around you, not just you ride.
Now you were well known for a street racer in LA around about that time frame.
Oh yeah.
That's how you got your nickname.
Oh yeah. I got my nickname Ice Cream Boy because I was like 15, 16 years old, and one of the older guys, his name was Doodoo, and he was in the King Cobra's motorcycle club, and we was at Salton Sea. And another friend of mine named Touch and Go, he was there, and they was like, I just beat Doodoo out of $25. So I took my $5 and entered the ice cream eating contest. And then when they came looking for me to race this grown man again, they couldn't find me. They looked all over. So the president of the Defined Ones, which was Pee Wee and James McCullough, and the president of the King Cobras, which was named Mr. Magoo, when they found me, they said, nobody can find Black Tommy, the little Tommy. And then they said, there he is right there. There he is right there. That's Ice Cream. That's Ice Cream Boy. Get him over here. And that's how from that name stuck from that point on.
Okay. So you were pretty much a jockey. Everybody want you to jockey their bike for them?
Well, everybody wanted me to jockey their bike back then, but I wanted to ride my bikes because I knew how to work on my bikes. I knew the bike inside out. So that's what separated me from all those guys. I knew how to work on my own stuff. So it was kind of crazy and cool because I worked on all of my own stuff back then.
Where did you hone your skill? Who were you around involved with in the LA scene down there to kind of like teach you or mentor you in the bike world, in the exhaust and headers and stuff like that?
Well, it's so many people that I had to name off because it was crazy back then. Because like I said at that particular time, I grew up right there. We had moved to 120th and Main yet, and I stayed on El Segundo. Right behind me was a guy named Little Buddy Rizan, and little Buddy he used to work on his bikes in his garage back then, and I used to hop the fence and go over there, and then there was another guy in the garage with him named Tyree Childs. So I'm watching these guys. They was treating me. They was treating me cool, but you got to remember I'm still a kid, so they would let me come, but then I had to leave. But then shortly after, when I turned probably 14 years old, I used to roam up and down Main Street, and on Saturday mornings, I'm on my homemade BMX bike, and I would run up and down Maine. And where I grew up in LA, it was crazy because you go down Maine, you're gonna run into a bunch of companies down there, and then I'm digging through their trash can, picking up parts. And one of the companies was the Falcon Foam Company, which later became Simpson Helmets. Then you go a little bit further down the street, and then you run into Custom Chrome, which became Drag Specialties. And then you go a little bit further down the street, and then you run into VHT, which would make all the spray paint and the additives that a lot of guys use on their motorcycles now. And then you go a little bit further, then you run into a place called RC Engineering, which was the builders of all the high performance parts. And then one Sunday morning, I was over there and I was digging through their trash can, picking up all the old magazines. And Byron Hines came out, and I didn't know who he was. And I just knew he was a kind white guy that told me what was I looking for. And I told him I was looking for race magazines. He says, well, look, kid, you come back next week and I have a stack of them up here and you ain't got to go in the trash can no more. I came back the next week and he gave me a stack of magazines. From that point on, me and him became friends, and not knowing that he would become the Hines in the Vance and Hines Racing. That's how I met them.
Right.
And then I go a little bit further down Maine. And now me and my friend Jamesy, James Lilly, me and him I got a SL at this particular time. I got a SL Honda 100, and he got a KDX 100. And we go down and we race in the Goodyear blimp plant. We race all around up in that junk. So we racing up in there, and then every now and then there'd be an old white guy to come out and tell us to get out of the parking lot. So this one particular Sunday morning, the tall white guy was out there on the longest foam cord I've ever seen in my life, and they had cones around the where they was doing some kind of racing and stuff, and so the guy like begged for me. So I like, I told Jamesy, I'm gonna go see what he wants. Jamesy said, nah, I wouldn't go over there. You don't know what that old white guy might want, So I got my vice grips on my seat of my bike, so I wasn't worried about him. I go over there and beat him up if anything funny. So when I go meet the guy, and he asked me, he said, man, what you doing? You guys doing burnouts out there? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. And then he brought me inside of his shop, and he had thousands and thousands of tires. Guess who the guy was?
Who's that?
Carol Shelby.
Carol Shelby. Okay.
So
nice,
I never had to buy.
So
I never had to buy a Goodyear tire until I moved from California in '94.
Man.
Never.
Man, that's it right there, folks. That's it, man. That's how it all begun. If you heard the name, California, was at the right place at the right time, met the right people, kind of honed his craft, and so the legacy began.
And so now where I used to go hang out when I meet Byron Hines, of course he opens the door. So when I meet him, and then I go to the track when I'm like, when I'm like 15, 16 years old, I go to the drag strip, and then I meet another fella named James McGlynn, which was Honda Jim. Honda Jim, worked for the legendary MTC. If you're familiar with the drag racing, he worked for them, Ken Tipton. And then so I accidentally ran across this guy. And after that, watching him, and he worked at his parents had Maywood Honda, and he built all kind of Hondas and all that stuff. Now, picture this, where I was just Black Tommy, he can't, I could go to all the motorcycle shops in the neighborhood, and I got to sit on this side of the counter. Now I get to walk around all the shops. I get to go to the Honda dealer. Everybody know me because my affiliation with all these giants now.
Right.
So it was like crazy, So when you say legend, the legendary stuff, it was actually, that's what I got to respect, because I learned how to be around these guys, because it was James McGlynn, and then and he hung around with a guy named Ralph Muldoon, which was one of the great whalers, and they did when Vance and Hines opened up their shop in the late 80s. I was around all of these guys' shops.
Okay. Because I was going to ask you, I know you do motor work, but in the drag world, the frame is just as important as the motor. You have to be able to run straight. The frame has to be designed a certain length, a certain amount of inches, and stuff like that. Did you ever get into frame building?
Yeah, we do a lot of it now. Here in my shop. We got frame jigs where we do a lot of bagger frames here and designing bagger frames. Far as the race bike stuff, it's too many great engine builders. I mean, not engine builders, but frame builders that I can use now. Like the Groffices, the Sam Wheels. There's just too many of them to name that you can get all the stuff from. What taught me is what the right components to get, growing up around the Cosman and the Track Dynamics and the top names and frames and all of those kind of things. Taught me how to do a lot of that stuff.
Okay, well, look, we're going to go ahead and kind of
Bikes up,
hear
getting ready
you
to make
say the words
first pass
yourself.
at the PMRA race. Mac is checking the clutch, getting it set up at 50 thousandths because we need that much air gap so we can get a good 60 foot. And then I got Nass over here. He's doing the same thing on Smoke's bike, so we can be guaranteed a good 60 foot with a wheelie bar, the tire, all of it works together in the boots. All right, I got Rap here. He's chalking the wheels on the wheelie bars. What this does right here, we can see when they leave, you can see how hard the bike it actually leaves and how hard that the wheels hit the ground. And also we can see if the bike moves or does anything out of the 100 yards, we can see exactly what the bike is doing, if it's going straight or it's going crooked. This right here gives us a clear indication of what the bike is doing the first 60 feet.
Oh man, you talking about technical? You talking about a lot of technical stuff right there, man. That's
all of that stuff, because you want to make sure the bike tracks, in the right direction. It's just like it's no different from what you do on one of them. When you taking a curve or taking a road, you want to look ahead, and what guides the bike, you want to make sure it's tracking correct. If the rear end is off, then it don't do nothing. It doesn't do any good, because you got to make sure everything is lined up perfectly. So you know what tracking is. You put millions and millions of miles, and you got to make sure your bike is going down the highway straight.
Man, there's a lot to it, folks. Just like it was saying, they were doing it back in the days before they had all of this technical stuff and schematics and all of this, man. So shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you.
Yes. How did you train your mind as much as you trained your body to ride the way you ride, to race?
Well, the way that I always do it, I get on the bike or I think about and visualize making a pass out the pass before it's time to ride. So when I get on the bike, it's not new to me. That's how I try to do it. and I try to talk to all of my riders that I work with, how to do that, visualize before it happens, and I got a lot of great riders around me. Like now we got, I got my guy Adrian Lottie, which we call Smoke. We done won 2 back-to-back PMRA championships here in Oklahoma. And then I got his older brother, Kermit Lottie. And back in the day, we won championships with him. But now it's so much technology available to us now. So it's kind of making it easy and hard, because you got to remember, I'm the old guy. I'm 66 years old, and I'm used to working on the bikes with these pliers and screwdrivers. Now I got to do them, I got to tell these guys how to do them on the, I feel like Days of Thunder when, I got to try to explain what's pushing and what ain't pushing and all that. But where I got the experience on these guys, I done did a bunch of stuff, and it's no different, so I know when to lean, I could tell them how to get from point A to point B.
Okay. I'm going to take it back a little bit, back to LA, with your expertise. When they made the movie Biker Boys, did they come calling on you, or what was the deal with that?
Well, when they made the movie Biker Boys, everywhere they went, they kept talking about Black Tommy. This is what Black Tommy did. This was Black Tommy did. They talked about the guy Pookie from up in from Altadena at the time, but they kept saying Black Tommy. No, this is what Black Tommy did. And so I remember a scene that was in Biker Boys, and me and my guys was in the Deuces, and I tried to bring more young guys off up in the Deuces with me. They told me no. So me and my crew, we started the Young Bloods at the time. And so now I got all the old heads mad at me, because we, like when the Deuces jump off on Tuesday nights, we sitting out there at the lights waiting on the old heads to come, and we burning rubber, doing wheelies, doing all the crazy stuff at the time, so now, so they, so now you got, and then you got Monday night, which was the Magic Wheels, and they telling us, hey, y'all, somebody need to talk to Ice Cream. Somebody need to talk to Black Tommy. Him and his group just can't keep coming down here, burning rubber and drag racing in the middle of the street and all of this stuff. Man, we was having a ball. So all of this stuff was natural. So now on that scene where Biker Boys, we used to go to Long Beach, and there was a motorcycle club out there. And there was some young white kids that was riding bikes out there. I forgot the name of the club, but we went out there and raced them kids, the youngsters, for $20 and $30 and beat them out of their money. And then they came up to the Deuces looking for Charles Dog and talking about, hey, y'all kid, y'all nephew is coming out here playing like they can't ride and beating us out of money, So all of this stuff was just real the way it went back then. And when it came to games, boy, we were ready for you, So I learned a lot from the old heads, because at the particular time, I'm gonna show you how this stuff went. You could go to the motorcycle club and really have fun and watch all of the racing and the camaraderie go on. We used to go there, and we used to go to the motorcycle club, and I remember Tyree Childs. He said, Ice Cream Boy, come on, go down to the Cobras with me tonight. I said, what you want me to do? He said, come on, you go down there with me. He says, I want you to have my bike ready just in case they want me to race. I said, what do you mean? He says, I want you to have my bike ready. So I said, all right. So all of these things they found in the Biker Boy movie, this is stuff that we done. So I was like, Tyree, you want to race these guys? Let's go get some beer and get some whiskey. He said, man, I don't drink and race. I know I poured the beer on him, the whiskey on him, so he smelled like he was drinking. And these guys jumped on him. They jumped on him. So now they betting him $100, $50, and now he go to get on the bike, and then I'm holding the bike up. Man, you can't race these guys. Man, shut up, ice cream. Let us do this. And then when we started the bike up, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's a whole new man. All of these things is, this is why, it was crazy seeing the biker boy thing. And so, of course, they reached out to me and, they made it right, because my name was, everywhere they went.
Synonymous. Your name was synonymous in the streets just for that.
Yeah. This is where I grew up at. Everything, everything, and I was young and crazy at the time. I did it all, so I did it all.
Right. Man, that's good. We had Pep on the show, and he was talking about, their contribution to that movie. I was telling people, man, the MCs in LA played a major role in Hollywood back in the days. For extras, anytime that they had, they made movies like Black Angels, they were involved. They would come to the set and ask for people to participate, and so I wish more people would do their homework and research and look into that.
Because I did Vanilla Ice, Cool as Ice, I did TJ Hooker, they had me on the set, they're doing all of that kind of stuff back then, showing how to, what to do, how to set the bikes up to make them do wheelies forever and all kind of junk. Right. I just was young and just crazy,
Man, yeah. And I know Divided Time was back there then. I know Bay Area, Desperados, the Four Horsemen, all those guys, man. Shout out to OG D.O. Bobby Jr., rest in peace, man. A lot of these guys, a lot of these founders, Heavy from Soul Brothers, was rocking it down those areas, man. So all of that time frame you're talking about, once again, shout out to Ivory J from Adventures MC for letting me get into his archive and just kind of bring these pictures to life to reference that LA time, that LA bike set during that time frame when you was a youngster. So listen, folks, we thoroughly enjoyed this first hour of the show. We're going to take a quick pause right quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to dive into his legacy, deeper into it, more racing, and then we're going to start talking about his custom build, how he started getting into custom build. So listen, folks, just stay tuned. Stay where you're at. If you got them, take you a sip or smoke you one. Shout out to my guy, DJ FX.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your man, Jeff, aka DJ FX. That's right, the owner of Creative Views. And today's podcast is being sponsored by Creative Views, the place where you can get all your custom designs, DTF printing, as well as video editing. So make sure you come, get in contact with me at creativeviews25@outlook.com, or go to the website at creativeviews.com and check out the awesome custom designs that you can be seen wearing. So now, let's be legendary and aspire to inspire right here on Riding with KSolo and Doc in the building, Remy. Peace.
Come on, Doc. Oh man. Oh man. This isn't look, this isn't even our night tonight, man. Can we get it, Doc?
Hey, and we're back. Hey, I heard some stuff. Yeah, he had some stuff going on in the background. I didn't know what was going on. It cut me off as soon as I get ready to see it.
Good deal, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have no other than Tommy Bolton, aka Tombo, on with us tonight, sharing his legacy and dream about how he grew up on the LA set, man, how he was known and infamous for riding motorcycles, racing, street racing, and just his time dealing with the clubs on that side. We're going to move to Oklahoma City to be exact. So how and when did you transition or move to Oklahoma City? Just pack the shop up and move.
Well, and after 1990, after I set the 200-mile-an-hour record, I went to I was doing I was traveling a lot because I raced NHRA Pro Stock bike, okay, and I was trying to ride, and at the same time, they was closing all the drag strips down at the particular time in California. All the places that I love to race, they was closing them down. And then so in 91, I thought about it, and then the same organization that I set the 200-mile-an-hour record in. Make sure the door locked. And the same organization, IDBA, International Drag Bike Association, they needed a national tech director. So I was like, okay, what is this something I want to do or what? So at that one particular time, I decided right then, I said, well, what the heck? I'll put an application in and see exactly what they say. And lo and behold, I put an application in, and at the time, the guy that owned the organization was named Tony Lee. And the year before, I just went 200 miles an hour at these guys' organization, and man, they gave me the business. And when I mean they gave me the business is boom, I zoom down the drag strip, I go 200 miles an hour, and then these guys come back over to my trailer and want to know if my bike's legal or unlegal and all this stuff, because it's carrying the wheel all the way down the track. So I was like, no, I'm doing everything I can to do this stuff. I'm making the power, so they checked my bore and stroke. They did everything, but they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So when the opening came in 91 for national tech director, I put my name in the hat. Along and at the particular time, and this is what was so crazy. It at that particular time, it was like 20. Tony told me it was like 20 something people that applied for this position, and the guy who gets this position is the guy that calls the shots, that say the bike's legal or unlegal and helps make the rules, and mandates, make sure everything is straight. Well, Lordy behold, I put the application in, and Tony Lee calls me one Friday evening and told me, said, I called you because I want to see if you want this position, because after all these people have put in submitted an application, a resume for the new IDBA tech director, I want to offer it to you first. And I was like, so I'm like, why? He says, we had never had people like Terry Vance, Byron Hines. If you look this guy up, Dave Schultz, Cosmo Racing, Track Dynamics, all the big wigs in the drag racing that recommend me for the job, because I'm gonna help make the rules. So now so not only was I the first African American racer, I was the first African-American tech director over a basically Southern Southern racing organization. Dude, that was weird. So at that particular time, I'm racing NHRA Pro Stock, IDBA National Tech Director. They putting on 7 to 8 races a year. So now I'm leaving California, going to the NHRA races, the IDBA races, and other races, and I'm leaving between 20 and 24 times a year. So in '92, I became a full sponsor rider again, first African American to get a national oil company to back my racing efforts. In 92, 93. So that would made it easy for me to move to Oklahoma, where I'd be in the middle, where I wouldn't have to travel all day.
Nice. Okay. Doc, I see you queuing up.
Yeah, for sure. Because I want to know, what does it mean for you to be the first Black man who changed what was possible in motorcycle racing?
Yeah, well, I think it's cool because some of my guys that I race with now, take for instance, Ricky Gatson, he looks up to me because he said I gave him inspiration to do what he did, because I was the first African American to win multiple championships in a sanctioned body in the drag bike USA world at the particular time. So not only was I was colorful, I was known, and I was visually at the drag strip. So I made it being cool to be this dark dude at the track, And sometimes I let everybody know.
They couldn't handle that, man. They couldn't handle that.
Oh man, because I let them know.
You let them know, but it's confidence, though.
Because I got the leather company behind me. I got and I love these guys. Whenever you see Vance and Leathers, they gave me a shot. They rocked with me. I had an orange bike. Guess what? I had an orange suit. I had a red bike. I had that suit. So it was cool. It was cool. So I got to do all of that stuff back then.
Okay. And before we go any further, man, I just want to send a shout out to Ricky. As you all know, his daughter passed away not too long ago, and he's been dealing with it. He's still dealing with it. Ricky Gaston, he is a true legend in the world of racing. Set many records. He's been endorsed by Kawasaki for numerous years. So for you to mention him, and I just want to send that shout out to him, send my condolences.
Well, that's my guy,
Yeah.
I know he's going through a hard time right now, and my condolences with him and his family, and I'll wait till, he'll never calm down from this,
Right.
Losing a child and someone that and it's a hard deal. I don't even know how to express.
Right.
But I know he knows I love him. I know he loves me.
Indeed. Yes, indeed, sir. So jumping back, kicking off in Oklahoma City. We moved the shop up, set the shop up. You're doing the tech thing now. And you also get into designing race parts, race components. Tell us a little bit about that. Because for African Americans, they said we haven't contributed anything. We haven't built anything. We haven't done anything. But you, sir, was building, designing, creating, contributing to the motorcycle drag race.
We did our own Tombo bagger frames, and we still doing a bunch of Tombo baggers. We do all of that. Do these custom high-end frames, and then we do a stock replica bagger frame. Like when when I ride my bike, it might say Harley on it, but it's a Tombo bike. It's a Tombo signature bike. You know, when I wear my gear, I wear Tombo gear. I wear Tombo gear. I'm
Hey,
going
man,
to send you some of my signature line.
hey, I'm coming to get it. I am coming. I'm gonna ride all the way to Oklahoma City on Tuesday to get it, man. If you give it to me,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do to get it.
Yeah. So
Indeed, indeed. And you say you have some.
So we do a lot of stuff for the now. We kind of concentrate more on the bagger end. I would love to get into doing handlebars, but I grew up in LA, and like I said,
Handlebar Lee. You grew up with Handlebar Lee.
And Handlebar Lee won't let me make handlebars. Handlebar Lee won't let me make handlebars. Handlebar Lee, I want you to think back. I'm going to show you how crazy this is. Handlebar Lee.
I go back too, man.
Handlebar Lee. I'm in the like I said, I'm in high school. I'm working at the Honda dealer, and I build me this fast ass 750 Honda. And I says, we talking about 1978, 79, okay? And Handlebar Lee tells me, he said, hey, ice cream boy, let's go to the track tonight. I'm like, dude, I done worked all day. I'm not going no track. And so Handlebar Lee tells me, say, come on, let's go. So we load the bike on my this is the bike I ride to work, ride to school, everything. We load it on the back of the truck and we go to Brotherhood Street Races in Terminal Island. We go out there, Handlebar Lee gets on my 750 Honda. Now we're talking about 78, 79, and go 1150 on my 750 Honda.
What?
And that's like crazy fast. So when we leave there, so now I'm on Handlebar Lee's head. Teach me how to ride like that. Teach me how to ride. Teach me how to do this. Teach me. Handlebar Lee was like, no, ice cream, I ain't gonna tell you how to do it. I just know that you got a fast motorcycle. And so he wouldn't tell me how to shift the bike. He wouldn't tell me nothing. So it was weeks and weeks. And then I had to study him in order to figure out what to do to get my bike to go that fast. And before it was over with, he was going 1120s on my street bike. And we went to this place in LA where Hero used to be. It was called the Johnny's Pastrami. And we went up there, the pastrami stand. And we went up there, and that's where we used to street race. And we took them dudes' heads off back then. We took these dudes' heads off, street racing, So I was a little bit more disciplined at the time because I grew up around a bunch of old fellas in my shop. When, I got my first shop, legit shop, when I quit working for the Honda dealer it was 1980, and I got my first shop, and the fellas, the guy that was in my shop with me was a bookie. His name was Bro Bill. Bro Bill was a cold dude. He was like 5'6", 5'7", 350 pounds. This dude taught me how to think, how to ride a motorcycle, how to strategize who I got to race, how to do everything. And he would pay guys money to race me up and down the street just to show me that he can make these guys beat me because I was dumb. I let all the stuff happen. Then he come back and teach me all the mistakes. So it was crazy. My motorcycle shop at the time was, I had so much fun there. And then Bill was a neighborhood bookie. So he was booking horses out of one side of my shop and And on the weekend, he was gambling in the back of my shop. So I had to learn quick how to do this. You know, the guy that coming in my shop might be the police. You know, so yeah, I had to learn how to watch people, character, and everything. So he taught me how to think all the time. So that's where I learned how to strategize and how to really race from a guy that couldn't even ride a bike.
Man, I'm telling you, because everybody knows Handlebar Lee as far as building handlebars, but they don't know
Lee Hayes is not getting his credit because Lee Hayes was Drag Bike USA first black motorcycle champion, pro stock champion. He was the first one. He had a guy named Reggie Moore that was sponsoring him. He was the first one that did. That was the first drag bike champion, black. Lee Hayes was back in 1981, 82.
Man, that's what I say, folks. You hear it, man. We don't even hear it. True legacy indeed. Doc.
Yeah. Tombo, do you feel the next generation has it easier or just different?
I will start again.
Yeah, I want to know, do you feel like this next generation, do they have it easier than you had?
Oh, of course. They don't have to work. All you got to do is have some bread. All you got to do is have some money. It's way easier, of course. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. All you got to do is if you got sense enough to go hustle and get some money, you got it easy. You can almost be what you want to be. You know, it just costs you a little bit more. That's all.
Okay.
You know, you ain't got to do struggle. You ain't got to do a lot of stuff, you know. So yeah, they got it a lot easier than what we had because we had to do everything. We had to do everything. You know, so I couldn't, you know, simple stuff, you know. I had to have, you know, like for instance, checking your tire pressure. I would go to the store. I'll go to the store and buy 10 pencil tire pressure gauges, and I would check them and see if I could come up with 7 pounds or whatever on there. And when I check them, and I check 10 of them, and the 3 that reads the same, them the ones that I take to the track with me. Now all you could do is go buy one digital one for $100.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they got it easier, no doubt.
Wait, is it easier or is it just different?
It's different. They got it easier. You don't have to do all that stuff. You can order, like I said, a $20,000 motor right now, and
straight out of the crate.
It's straight out of the crate.
Straight out of the crate, baby.
It's a bunch of shops like mine that'll sell you a 200-mile-an-hour motor right now.
Yeah. And one thing about you, you've always given back. You're giving back to the community. You also open your doors up to trade schools to come in to your shop and kind of mentor youth. So definitely want to just recognize you and thank you for that. Just tell us a little bit about the program and your role in that.
Well, the guys from OU came and they had a 600 and they wanted to figure out how to make it. The rules was they couldn't put but a little small carburetor like this on it, and they got to be able to race this thing. And I came back and showed them, look, you do this, and you can make this work, make a manifold work. And they thanked me, so in order, I was glad to be a part of that. And then making sure that they had the right computer system with it, so okay. I'm always cool to try to mentor the next great one, and all of that.
There you go. And like you said, you have a couple of racers in your shop that ride your bike, that have bikes that work out of your shop or race out of your shop.
Yeah,
Would that be your team? Would that be a team, the Tombo team, or?
Yeah, we got like I said, we got Adrian Lottie, Kermit Lottie, his brother, his brother Kermit Lottie, his son Deontay Lottie, and now we got Big Mac McKnight, and then we got Nas, which Gate, we got him, and we got Bull Rider, which is a professional. Here again, first African American bull, second African American bull rider.
Ooh.
So all of these dudes is out of the shop.
Yeah.
You can look him up, the Nail Tipman.
Okay.
So we got all of these guys out of the shop, and then not only do we got black guys, we got I call him I got my son Tommy Jr. and I got my other son, which is a white kid. His name is Jimmy Cook. He's my guy. He's my kid. Yeah. So I mentor these kids to do this stuff. There's so many things that you can do. And I give them a place where we can come in here where we can make whatever we want. And the advantage that we have that a lot of shops don't have, we dream it, we can make it. Mm-hmm. We don't have to sit around. Then, we got a lot of people behind us that helps us do this stuff. So that's what helps out a lot,
Good deal. Just want to send a quick shout out to Lavish T. Williams. The commissioner is in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight, Lavish, man. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch Lavish on Lavish TV, and you can also catch him on Black Dragon TV. So definitely want to just give him a shout out for all that you do, and congratulations on that. You ran for commissioner, you won it, and you're doing great things already, man, because I hear you speak on the channel about what you got going on. So definitely would love to get you on the show, Lavish, maybe chop it up with you, man. And also make sure you go check out his YouTube channel. He's been in the game for a while. He's a social media influencer, the whole 9 yards. So my hat off to you, Lavish. Ricky, thank you for joining us. Jimmy Cook, I work with Jimmy Cook. You know Jimmy Cook? There's a name floating right there.
That's my kid. That's my kid. That's my kid. That's what I'm talking about. That's my kid, Jimmy Cook.
Oh man, thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you dropping that in, man. I like that excitement in Tombo when you hear it, man.
That's my kid right there. And when this kid is with me, and I tell them this is one of my sons, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, just because he's white, that's my son.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Doc, I know you got the pad ready, but I'm gonna let you drop one on him right quick.
Yeah, let's talk about your full circle moment, right? Where are you in life now, mentally, spiritually, and personally?
Oh, shucks.
Hey, man, I told you, Doc. Hey, Doc gonna bring it to you, man. Doc gonna hit you. She gonna make you get it.
It's been tough the last couple of years. A year ago, I was diagnosed with leukemia.
Oh.
Yeah. And I want to let you.
It's been tough. It's been tough. I was diagnosed with blood cancer, and it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Everything that I love, I got to give it up. I can't. I'm the guy that goes to Golden Corral and get a plate of fried chicken and gravy and 3 big slices of cake and all of this stuff.
Man, didn't you just get 2 stints someplace in the order? Come on, man.
I can't do that no more.
You can't do that no more.
Yeah. 3 weeks, a month ago, they put 3 stents in me, and they had to cut part of my vessel and come back up and boom, boom, and all of this old stuff. We
need you. We need you.
I'm the guy that 50 Cent be talking about, the birthday cake. I got birthday cake and it ain't my birthday. I just love it. I love it.
Come on, man. You gotta do better than that.
So now, I just want to try to get back to where right now, to be honest with you, I'm having so much fun in my shop. I don't let anything or anyone stress me out or anything like that. Something that I should have learned years ago. So yes, I feel good, and instead of when I go to the track, some of the best times in my life have been at the track, and I want to continue to have the good times. But now that with all the things that have happened to me in my life, it has opened my eyes to really, I won't be. How would I say? I won't be jumping up and all that. I'll be thanking the Lord for blessing me to see another victory.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
What is the future hold for Tombo Racing? Do you plan to hand it down to your sons? You plan to step back from the head, or what is the plan to go?
I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna stay to this to the wheel fall off. You're gonna see me with a flow jack putting it back on. That's what I'm gonna do. No, that's
crazy, man.
That's what I'm gonna do. I got too many youngsters out there. I got my nephew Deesky, down there in Fort Worth. He's doing a tremendous job doing sounds on bikes and all of that stuff. So these guys keep me inspired to go to the next level all the time.
Okay.
I go to fall off. These guys are going to jack me up.
Yeah, man. Keep it innovative. Keep coming up with being on the trend, because you have a saying as far as your bikes about being in the parking lot.
They won't get lost.
That's it.
They won't get lost in the parking lot.
Won't get lost in the parking lot, man. I love it when you say that. You build your bikes to a customer, and then you also have online bike design, correct? Where you can go online and design your bike. Talk about that, because that was the first hint about that.
Well, we had that, and then the internet, social media cut the thing off. So I need to find someone to help me redesign that stuff, because we was one of the first ones that did that stuff. Back then.
So you got a lot of first under your belt, man. A lot of first associated with you, and the name, and the brand.
A lot of stuff that, as some of my guys say, man, you too humble for this stuff, man. I'm just a regular old dude that grew up on 120th and Main. That's all.
120th and Main, man.
120th and Main. You were running in and out of the Deuces Motorcycle Club with my Uncle Charles kicking my butt, and his brother-in-law Big Slick talking crazy to me. And then my dad, Shelly Bolton, Doug Bolton, him and the guy that was to start at the Deuces, Willie Kimbrough, Payback. They helped me learn how to do motors and how not to break rings, because every Saturday morning this guy would come over my house with a fifth of gin and a pack of rings to put in his bike, and my dad would wake me up, and that was my punishment every Saturday morning, because I didn't know that he put in a big cam and it was making the valves leak,
Right.
Right. So I got older, so these guys, the motorcycle club helped teach me how to do a lot of things also. So,
nice. Man, that's nice. That's nice to see you go to the tech school, learn a trade, drop out, and then go back. You know what I'm saying? You just didn't give up. And then it's great that somebody supported you. You know what I'm saying? So like what you doing, Doc, giving that second chance. Because Doc Remy, you have a Sankofa
Yeah, and I do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, reaching back and giving back and teaching and inspiring and mentoring. Yeah.
Okay.
Second chances, give them a second chance.
Indeed, indeed. Tombo, man, we have thoroughly enjoyed having you on tonight. We have thoroughly having you enjoying tonight, but we're not done yet. We're not done just yet. I still got a little bit more bandwidth, Doc. What I want to do is I want to open up the call-in line. Anybody want to call in, ask Tombo a question, or just kind of pick his brain about something, or hear a little bit about his legacy. There's a number right there. It's 1-804-471-3450. Doc, you still got one more on the book?
I do. If you could sit down with your younger self before your first race, what would you tell yourself? Your younger self before your first race?
Be patient. Be patient. Be patient.
Okay.
That's what I tell myself. But I had the pressure of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is whenever everybody was, when they knew it was a race, I had the guy that owned the store. I couldn't go in the store. He giving me $20. My mom and all her friends, they raking up $30. So now when I can't lose, I got to win because I get everybody in the neighborhood betting on me. Everybody. So I get, and then if I lose a race, I couldn't even go to the store. No. So I had to, so as like I said, I had pressure on me from the words saying go.
Right.
From the words go.
Yeah.
The words
Hey,
go.
folks, we got a caller on the line. You already know who it is. Who is it, Doc?
It's Bald Head Nasty.
Bald Head Nasty.
Yes, sir. Doc in the building. My baby. What's going on?
What you got, man?
So, Tombo, I know we about to talk some Chinese because I just have a few questions that I didn't hear you talk about. So your compression rate and what you was pushing, I never heard you say anything about a dyno. So what was you pushing at that time?
I couldn't hear him.
Say it again, Nasty.
So I didn't hear you say anything about a dyno, and I didn't hear you say anything about compression rate. So I wanted to know if you remember what you was pushing at that time, because I know you talked about the carburetor, and I saw the intake that you had on there. So I just want to know what was you pushing your compression rate at the time, and what piston and cam did you run?
Well, back then, I had special pistons made by Aries Pistons back then, and people was telling me that they was trying to, I had common sense stuff, and back then we was using like 12-to-1, 13-to-1 compression pistons, and we didn't start using dynos. I got a dyno in my shop now that I know I ain't used in 10 years. 10 years. Because if it's not right here, how is it going to be right on the dyno? So the thing that I like to do is use common sense combinations, things that we know going to work. That's what I try to do. Keep it clean and simple.
Did he answer your question, Ballhead?
Yes, he did, brother. That man is a living legend. I appreciate him and the technical stuff from him. I'm just enjoying. I can't wait to see you. I got to ride down and come shake your hand. And at 50, I need me a Tombo Harley. So just be ready for me.
All right, Ballhead Nasty, man. Thank you for calling in tonight.
I love y'all.
All right. All right.
We got another caller. I can't hear you, KSolo.
I muted it. Can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I muted it. Yeah. So I was saying, I love it when Ballhead Nasty call in, man, because he be following right along with us.
He do.
He does, man. One of my biggest supporters. Yeah, I was wondering about that, Tombo. We talked about how you guys had to just kind of like just be intuitive about it, just feel it out, just feel racing. And racing is a true science, man, of air, fuel mixture, compression, all of that. And not only making horsepower, getting it to the ground. You can make all the horsepower in the world. If
But
you
if you
can't put
can't
it to
get
the
it to the
ground,
ground,
you can't get it to the ground, man.
you know, and that's what I'm saying. You can buy all of those components right now. You can buy everything. You can buy the right tire, the right clutch combination. You can buy all this. Back then, we made all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to figure out how to make it go.
Right. Indeed. All right, folks. Well, listen, man, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. We're going to close it down, Doc. Any final questions or anything you have for our special guest, Tombo, tonight?
Yes, I do. First of all, I'm impressed. I'm glad I met you. This is Black History Month, and I feel like I just learned a bunch of history. I don't know much about racing because I'm going slow. I don't go that fast.
She's trying to get some long distance riding in.
Yeah, but I'm going slow. But no, in closing, if people can hear your story on this podcast, what is one lesson that you, whether they ride or they don't ride, or whether they race or they don't race, but what's one lesson that you hope that they take with them after listening to this podcast with you?
Never give up. Never give up.
You definitely earned that. You know what I'm saying? Because go all the way back to you as a kid. You never gave up riding against grown men, taking them down. Going to school, going back to school, never give up. Living life, surviving LA during your time frame with the gangs, you didn't give up. Moving to Oklahoma, never give up. You see what I'm saying? You know, even when they question your win, your 200 miles per hour, they questioned it. They came to the end of the track and said, hey, what's up with your bike? Is your bike legal? They questioned it. They didn't want to give it to you. You never gave up. Going into, as one of the techs, first Black African-American techs, in the IDBA, you never gave up. So folks, when Tombo say never give up, hold that to heart, man. Hold it to heart. Keep driving. And don't you give up with this last diagnosis. But I do want you to give up that chicken at Golden Corral, though.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm scared of it now. I'm scared of it.
I do want you to give that chicken at Golden Corral up, though, man.
He said he's scared of the chicken. He's scared of the chicken.
Man. We need you. We need you.
Man, I look at the fried chicken and I'll be like, ooh, no.
Good deal, Tombo. So listen, man, we're getting ready to shut this thing down. Any final words you want to just share with the audience tonight? We just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We do have a living legend with us. Tombo is a true living legend. Look him up. Make sure you go check out his website, Tombo Racing. Also on YouTube, Tombo Racing. And show him some love. Subscribe to the channel, man. Maybe we can kind of motivate him to get him to start dropping some of them good quality videos he's been dropping out for years. I mean, he goes back 7, 8, 9 years putting out videos, man. His bike building, his bike building is phenomenal. Like I say, man, your bike will not get lost in the parking lot, meaning it definitely will be a one-off.
Yeah, we got some videos that's in the makes now that, I'm slowing down. So now I can, along with my great buddy James Pratt, we'll start making more videos now.
Okay, nice.
We'll start doing those.
Good deal. Can't wait. Before we go, this is Handlebar Lee. I wanted to just throw his picture up there, show him some love. I really appreciate you sharing that tidbit of information about Handlebar Lee, because that's why we know him by, but you know him by his government. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lee Hayes.
Good deal. Good deal. And man, I hit Big Sale up today. I wanted him to make a cameo. You and Big Sale even go back.
Yeah, Big Sale grew up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him. Look, man, hey Doc, I called Big Sale, hit him on the FaceTime. He in the gym on the pedal bike, man, huffing and puffing. I said, but don't you have a heart attack trying to talk to me? Get off this thing, Sale. Oh man, good deal, man. So listen, Tombo, we want to thank you again for coming on the show, sir.
I appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing. I hope we've done you justice by presenting this the way that we did tonight. Definitely look forward to coming out there again on a better note instead of me coming out there with asking you to do a quick clutch adjustment. Folks, I stumbled upon his shop. He was trying to go home. His wife was waiting for him. He was on the phone. When I took that picture, he was on the phone with his wife explaining why he was running late. This guy stopped by my shop and I needed to adjust his clutch. And that's him right there, Tombo, adjusting my clutch, man, in Oklahoma City. So, sir, I just want to publicly thank you for that. And listen, folks, his shop is a museum. It's a museum. You need to go there and just walk around, look at the bikes, look at what's on the wall, the pictures, the trophies, and just chop it up with him. He's at the age now where he's not up under the bikes. Go and talk to him. Go and say, hey, man, I followed you. Some of the builds you done, I seen your legacy on the track. I followed you. You inspired me. Stop by his shop, Tombo Racing, Oklahoma City. Look it up. He's at that stage now where he can talk to you. So Tombo, people going to be coming by the shop, want to talk to you, man. So, you know, let them know. Let them know. All right, sir. Well, listen, we're going to say good night to you. Please take care of yourself. And God bless, man. Be safe.
Good night. Good night. All
right, Tombo. Doc.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was so much. It was so much. I wanted to try to capture it all. Shout out to Tombo, man. He's a true legend in that motorcycle racing. Anybody know? And we didn't even get into the stage of when they start putting on turbos, when they start running nitrous or anything like that. We didn't even get into that. That was just more stuff that he was, that he got into coming out of the shop. And then all the races that he support, that he's mentored throughout the years. Shout out to Hero Benson for being influential in his life during a young age. Everybody, man, everybody. And all the names that he called out, I went and tried to look in the archives and try to find some of the pictures. I did find some of the old school pictures. So once again, shout out to Ivory J for his archive that I went in and pulled out some of the pictures. This is Ivory J right here, the Adventures MC out of Los Angeles, California. So I definitely want to just say, hey, man, listen, folks, the LA set is rich. We're going to keep highlighting. We got another icon that's coming on from LA. We got Miss Showtime coming on March 17th. We're going to hear her story about her legacy. So listen, keep tuning in, keep chiming in. So listen, Doc, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you because I know we want to talk about the Sankofa Achievement Center, what you got going on. I'm always trying to just promote that event.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. But I want to do a giveaway tonight. I was reached out to by Yip Fitness, and the owner of Yip Fitness, she's housed in, I think in LA, California, but she has plans to raise $1 million helping nonprofits like Sankofa Achievement Center accomplish their mission. And her way of giving or raising this $1 million is, she gives and offers you these certificates that's valued at $105. And so what I want to do tonight is give one of those certificates away to the first person who pledges to make a small donation to the GoFundMe. And so what you get with this $105 valued certificate from Yip is unlimited 30 days of Zoom fitness. And so you can be anywhere in the world and, you log in as many times as you want. And she talks to you. She gives you a nutrition plan. You
type hashtag Sankofa right now. type hashtag Sankofa. I can't do it because it's going to enter me. Hashtag Sankofa. Do it. Do it. Drop it in there, folks.
So yes, again, the giveaway is you may already go to the gym. I don't know, but if you don't, and the gift certificate is transferable. So if you win tonight and you know someone in your family or someone in your network that you think will be able to benefit from having getting their journey going, their health journey started, and this will be a great gift that you can pass on to them. They'll have 30 days of unlimited Zoom. And again, guys, the GoFundMe is about the Sankofa Achievement Center. We are, one of my students, he is in juvenile courts right now. His mom called me and said that he got caught up in some mess, and she needed a letter from me saying that he's been coming to the center being homeschooled. And the DA in the juvenile courts is saying, well, what time does he have to be at school? And his time is 11:30. And so they were saying that didn't make any sense. It didn't seem right that he has to be at school at 11:30. And the mom was trying to explain that we sat down as a partner. He didn't like getting up early, and that was one of the reasons why he stopped going to school in the first place, because he didn't want to get up early. And then when he got there, he didn't have the opportunities that he thought he should have had. And it caused him to have these episodes. And so what we did, and what I do at Sankofa, is I met him where he was at. If you can't get here at 8 o'clock in the morning, that's fine. What is a good time for you? 11:30. And that's what he's been doing. And so I wrote a letter, and I plan on going down there to the juvenile courts to rally for this student. But that's what I'm doing, guys. I am always giving back, inspiring, helping wherever I can. I'm going to pull up and help and give back. And so, again, guys, we're doing this giveaway tonight to help out with the GoFundMe that KSolo podcast has started. And
okay. So this is on me. This is on me tonight, Doc. What we're going to do is we're going to do it Thursday. We're going to do it Thursday. We're going to promote it hard. Hashtag Sankofa. We're going to keep the window open for everybody for everybody that's already type hashtag in. Let me see how many I got in there, because I want to make sure we get a good amount of people in there. So we're going to do it again Thursday. We're going to open up with it at the very opening of the show. We're going to have it loaded up so that we will be able to get as many people involved as possible.
Okay.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight with the Riding with KSolo podcast show. We had a special guest on with us. We had Mr. Tommy Bolton, aka Tombo, on with us, and he dropped a lot of history, a lot of knowledge, and also it being African American, Black History Month, being the first African American in a lot of things that he's done and achieved. So once again, a shout out to him, man. So listen, Doc, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Thank you for all that you do for the podcast. I look forward to seeing you in March for the Sankofa Gala.
Yeah.
How are we looking on that? The registration still going good?
Registration is still live, everybody. It's going, it's trickling. I'm sending out personal messages now and try to get to capacity. Okay. But you know what I always say, who is there is who is supposed to be there, and we are going to hit the mission. We're going to hit the mission. It's not about numbers. I
like that.
Yeah.
The way you said that, I like that, Doc. All right, folks. There is the information right there. Guest speaker is going to be Gorilla Blue out of Rare Breed, Las Vegas. It's going to start on March the 12th. That's the welcome party, 6 to 10 at the Holiday Inn Express, Opryland. 13th of March, 4:30 to 6:30. It's going to be cocktails. As Hoagie always said, cocktails. I love when Hoagie said cocktails. Shout out to Hoagie too, man, because Hoagie's getting into politics, man. Yeah, man. It's going to be. And then the charity gala at 7 p.m., 7:30 keynote, and auction. What's your auction on?
Yeah, we got a silent auction. I got a Thursday. I'll talk about some of the things that we have on the silent auction.
Okay. And then Saturday, we're going to have the bike blessing and the motorcycle charity ride. Make sure you're there. Kickstands up at 11 a.m. All right, folks, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Doc, let me throw up this GoFundMe. If anybody got $10, $15, $20, I'm shaking the can, because the thing about it, man, is the hardest part about fundraising is asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part about fundraising is asking for it, but we're going to ask for it tonight. There's a QR code right there. Go over and scan, folks. Drop some money in there. Drop $10, $15, $20, $25. Whatever you feel like donating. Donate from the heart. We greatly appreciate it. All right, Doc, we're going to get up out of here. You have a good night.
Right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, aspire to inspire, be legendary.